Anything. Hi everyone. So today I'm again back with a new English communication practice. And today in this video, I will be trying to say the story. The story can be anything. I don't know what story I will say. I will try to say anything that comes into my mind. So without any delay, let's get started. Okay. The story begins with a house into which a person with his family lives. He has two children and one wife. One day in that house, a reporter came, and then the person was not really much, he was not so much wealthy, but the reporter was his friend. So after a long journey, after a long time of the school graduation, they two became together. So in that same way, like the person was a journalist. He was his friend also, but he was also a journalist. So he came to that one person, that main character's home, and then just had some random talks, initially friendly talks, and then since his friend was a journalist, so he started doing some interview with his own friend. So what was the story behind that one person that I'm talking about? So let's give a person a name. So let's give a person a Tom. Okay, the person's name will be Tom. The the Tom's friends, journalist friend, asked him, uh, what was the reason behind you becoming a so average person since you were born in a very wealthy family? What was the reason behind? The journalist friend asked like that, and then here the story begins of that Tom. So he was born in the Philippines, and he was born in Philippines within a wealthy family. His family owned a lots of land area, including the zoo, and he used to have a lot of animals that were also wild animals like tiger, deer, giraffe, leopard, anything or everything. He had his own zoo in his own house. So how the story begins? Okay. So one day there was a day when the tiger was on the case, and then since the Tom was little bit warm-hearted person, the tiger was little bit showing something like he was really hungry, so he decided to give him some meat that he had in the kitchen. Now, what he did is he just went to the case where tiger was, and then he just pulled his hand like that meat inside that cage, and then when tiger started to attack that person, started to attack the Tom, then someone from the back came and then just pulled him back. It was just a few inch minute, it was just a few inch that if it was just a few inch that could have lost the hand of the Tom. So this was the starting point of the story. Now, what happens later is that his father was a very wealthy person. He has a good connection with the entire politicians and the people who were ruling above the country. So because of that, he had not so much difficult life. So he was studying in a really good school. But however, he was having some serious issue at school because he was suffering from bulliness, and lots of people like he was little bit physically awkward person. So because of that reason, many people used to bully him in the school when he was child. So not only the children, the teachers also used to discriminate him, even though he was from the wealthy family. So he had not so much good life at the school, but he was living in a good home which had a lot of wealth, and he was living in a home with a lots of facilities. One day, what happened is his father got an appointment to go to the Europe to go to the Europe from sea. He had to travel by a sea, so his father had to take a large ship and including his all the family to shift all of those Jews animal from the Philippines to the Europe. I don't want to say the specific country name on the Europe because it was around um like 200 to 400 years ago. So I also forgot that actual name of the country. So the journey was the journey was to be begin at around 10 a.m. in the morning, and it was about 1 week. No, not 1 week. It was about 1 month, 1 month journey from Philippines to traveling across the Indian Ocean and then traveling at the edge of the African coast and then reaching the Europe. It was like that journey. So since he was from the wealthy family, he had no problem because the ship was a really, really premium quality ship. So so the journey started in that kind of very wealthy ship. The ship has a separate room for the sleeping, separate room for the living room, and then separate place for the playgrounds as well, and also separate entire space for whole zoo animal who were on the case. Everything was normal about 1 to 2 weeks, and when the person reached around when the person reached around Indian Ocean, everything was fine. But one night, what happened is that a big massive storm came, and that because of that storm, heavy rainfall also came, and then the rainfall did not stop up to 5 days in the Indian Ocean. Because the ship was suffering from the heavy rain, and the ship was also starting to lose the control over the waves because the rainfall was so large that the waves started to move here and there that used to struck the ship, and that used to little bit damage. But one day what happened is one wave struck the ship so badly that it started to leak the water, and the water started to come into the ship. But this incident was did this but the captain of the ship did not report this incident to the father of the Tom. So because of that carelessness, his father knew very late, when it is already so late. So because of that, the Tom was the only one from the family who was able to jump out of that ship and just get into the lifeboat from that ship. He was not only the one, but in his ship there was also a tiger, there was also a monkey, there was also a zebra. So these were three, right? So since tiger, after a while, the tiger started to be so hungry I'm referring to that same tiger who nearly at inch eat the hand of that um he it was just nearly a few inch that the when the Tom was giving the meat to the tiger, it was just few inch away from being beaten by the tiger. That was the same tiger in that boat. So tiger was hungry, so tiger attacked the zebra and he ate that zebra. And after a while, what happened? The tiger was the one. After that, the tiger started eating the monkeys and other animals as well. But the Tom was really smart, so he just hang below the boat under the water, mm, and avoided being beaten or attacked by the tiger. So up to this point, the sea was calm and normal. Now, on the boat, there are two. One is Tiger, one is Tom. The environment was normal, and when Tom tried to come back to the boat, Tiger started to look at him so badly, but Tom had one stick. Now, when Tom came closer, Tiger also started to come closer by trying to try to attack. But when Tiger was ready to jump over the Tom, then Tom showed the stick him with a just like a master to the tiger, and then ultimately Tom was able to control the tiger, and he was like able to make the tiger calm, and he was able to control the tiger actually. So on that boat, he was able to like sit with the tiger without being, without being what we say, without being nervous. And whenever tiger used to, come nearer, he used to show the stick, and tiger used to go back. And since it was traveling from, since tiger was the land animal, it was traveling from the boat, open boat, everywhere there was a water. And once the tiger jumped into the sea, and what happened is, when tiger tried to came back to the boat, it was not able to do so, because uh, for the animal like tiger, once they jump into the a place like a sea, and there is the only way to get out of the sea is from the boat, then it is really, really difficult for the tiger to come up from the sea, because they have to jump, and for the jumping they need a land, so it is a little bit difficult. So tiger was ready to go out, like tiger was ready to get drowned. But the Tom was a little bit good from the heart. He remembered the day when he had a good heart, when he tried to giving a meat to the tiger. So on, by remembering that, he gave a rope to the tiger, and then just tiger, tried to climb with that rope, and then with the help of a stick, he brought the tiger back to the boat. It happened like that. And after a while, again, the Tom showed the tiger a stick, and then tiger again came into the normal. Like, I guess after that, the tiger tried to, tiger also understand that in this boat we are only two. If we try to kill, then kill each other, then the tiger will also go away. But still, the tiger was attacking. So, to avoid to avoid making the tiger hungry, um, Tom tried to capturing a lots of fish from the ocean, and then just threw over the tiger, and then the fish was just a dinner for the tiger, so that he will have not to attack the Tom when he is really, really very hungry. So slowly slowly the month passed away, the day went away, week passed away, month passed away. The journey was for about a month, but they don't know like where they are going, because they were actually going for the, Europe, but they don't know where they are going after they just jumped into that lifeboat. So the direction was, you know, uh, waylays, let's say waylays. So direction was waylays. So we don't know. They don't know like where they are going. I mean, I'm saying they because there was a two people. They were there. There are two things on the boat. That is Tiger and that boy, Tom. After a while, what happened? After the while, they reached into an island, and when they reached into the island, Tiger instantly jumped at that island, right? And then there were a lots of seals, and there were a lots of others animals like small, small monkeys. So they started hunting those animals, and then they collected a lots of animals, and so they decided to they decided to uh, sleep on that island for that day. When the Tom was sleeping at night, he saw something on the water of that island. There was some blue color. There were some colorful type of animals like fishes were under the water. But those, because of that, like those who were on the those those colorful animals were on the water, under the water, and at that time who were on the water, they were killed instantly. So instantly the Tom realized this island is not for us. So what he did tomorrow is he killed a lots of animal on next day for sufficient food for the next journey. And then he just called the tiger, and then tiger came, right? It's just like a dog. Tiger came, and then they just went together onto the boat, and they again started a journey. Again, on the journey, huge storm came, huge rainfall occurred, and then at that time, the Tom was about to lose the hope. Tom was about to lose the hope, and he started saying to the sky, "Just let me die." He said like that. But after a while, again, the storm was calm. That storm did not took too much long like of that before to be normal. So it was a little bit faster. So that again the you know sea was all calm and full of water. So, and the sun came back to the sky, and then journey was again started. After a while, they started to see some shore, and they went towards that shore, and then they just jumped on that shore, and in that moment he realized that this is not an island, this is a complete another country. So they reached to another country, and that country was Mexico. He was in the coast of the Mexico. Once they reached to that island, I'm sorry, on the Mexico coast, Tiger jumped out of the river, and then Tiger went forward, and then he just called the tiger one more time, but that time Tiger did not look back, and he went inside the jungle, and forever he was separated from the tomb. The journey was very beautiful, very dangerous. However, between that journey, the Tom, who initially thought tiger is a really cruel animal, after he was, pulled back from that zoo when he was just trying to give a meat, tiger was ready to eat his hand. He realized that he was not such kind of person. Sorry, he was not such kind of that animal. So he was, just lying over the beaches, and after a while, some rescue team came, and then, then they just took them over the hospital, and they just have some cure, and later on he went to the United States, and then he just settled over there, and the home he is currently living is the same home he built after he reached to the United States. So this was all the story that the Tom said to his journalist friend, and later on he found that the boat was not actually that boat was actually already uh, had some malfunction, because that was a trap done by other people who were really jealous of the Tom's father. So because of that reason, the boat was immediately, broken down when when the boat got hit from the wave. So this was the story. Actually, this story is from the movie called The Life of the Pi. So I just recalled that movie, and then I just said that in the form of story. So I try to explain naturally as possible. So this much for today. We'll come back again. Bye bye. See you again.